We knew that Iran was going to retaliate in some way for the killing of Qasem Soleimani, and last night that actually happened. With more than a dozen missiles launched from Iran, striking 2 air bases in Erbil and Al-Assad, west of Baghdad. It was unclear as of last night if there had been any casualties. We now know, supposedly, there were no casualties. So good news there for all of the people, both American and Iraqi, serving at those bases. We have a map here showing the 2 parts of Iraq that were struck, with one being up in the northern area and one being just slightly west, I guess, of Baghdad there. And so both areas struck, although not equally. Now, we know that Iran's supreme leader said that the attack was a, quote, slap in the face for the US and called for an end to the US presence in the Middle East. Get in line. A lot of people have been calling that for a long time. Doesn't seem like it's gonna happen anytime soon. We also have the foreign secretary for Iran saying that Iran took and concluded proportionate measures in self-defense under Article 51 of UN Charter, targeting base from which cowardly armed attack against our citizens and senior officials were launched. We do not seek escalation or war, but will defend ourselves against any aggression. Now, assuming that this was the entirety of the Iranian response, and I don't necessarily assume that, but if that were the entirety of it, this does seem arguably proportional to what happened.
Right, I mean, they said that, they hit some targets. The way it's been, I think, seen or reported at least is, this was kind of a planned, non-lethal attack that would kind of put America on notice, and then allow them to also have covering up to say, we did something, you guys. Now it's over as long as they calm down. So, and then we'll get to what Trump ended up having to say, but it gets both sides to at least say, hey, the other guys are the cowards. Hey, they're the ones who back down. And I mean, if it's a matter of just as telling the people that are nearest to you that your own ego has been quelled, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But so I guess we're still looking into exactly the potential future ramifications, which again, of course, we'll get into as well. And if this has a full de-escalation approach or just as of yesterday, de-escalation.
Yeah, and look, the best case scenario is that the generally simple-minded, small-minded people that lead our countries, both in the US and Iran, who are so obsessed with the perception of themselves and their strength and their legacy and all that stuff that means absolutely nothing to the people who live or die based on their decisions, that hopefully everyone on both sides will feel like, I look good coming out of this, and that's where it'll end. Yeah. So the best case scenario is that these childish individuals will feel placated and will stop playing games with our lives. That's what we hope for. Now, as of last night, Iran threatened to attack inside the US if America retaliated for that specific assault. They've also vowed to attack the cities of Dubai in the UAE and Haifa in Israel if Iranian soil is bombed. Now, we know as of this morning that apparently theoretically is not going to happen, which is of course good, both for sites inside of the US and for other people in the region. Now, when this actually happened, Donald Trump responded to it and very reassuring tweets saying, all is well, missiles launched from Iran at 2 military bases located in Iraq. Assessment of casualties and damages taking place now. So far, so good. We have the most powerful and well-equipped military anywhere in the world by far. I will be making a statement tomorrow morning. And so look, as of this morning, supposedly no one died or was even injured in that attack. And so that is good news. For me personally, the way I interpret it in the moment is none of this would be happening if not for Donald Trump's actions that senior officials in the Pentagon were stunned by. And so for him to tweet, all is well, when we still don't know at that point if American service members might have been killed as a result of his fun and games abroad. It seems a very casual response to the seriousness of what was going on.
That's how he operates in anything. When you've never been held responsible for anything in your life, nothing is serious. Nothing actually has real ramifications or consequences because he's never experienced those things. Others have, as a result of his actions, his decisions, many times throughout his life have had life-changing effects to his decisions, and it continues. So, of course, from his point of view, it's all as well. I dodged that bullet. I went through the whole process of escalating these tensions. After escalating them, and then carrying out the killing of this military leader, then I'm gonna go ahead and try and rile them up further because I need to go ahead and pump my ego up. So all that happening, he's like, whew, I got out of it without anything happening. So in his mind, all is well. All is just good and dandy. There's people involved, But who cares? They're just people. They're not me.
Yeah, and let's bear in mind, all was always going to be well for him. There were no consequences that he was going to suffer for any of this, no matter what. Anyway, so look, I just want to briefly go back to the state of mind when we were last night. We get home, we get off work, finally, blessedly. We go home, this starts to happen. What did you think when you saw that this was happening?
Well, okay. Because I was trying not to be the guy that would say it this way, but I've been annoyed at the World War III hashtags for days. I just, not because you shouldn't do it, say what you want. Maybe that helps get people into the mindset of thinking how serious this could be, although I don't think it get to that level. But if nothing else, if it worked as a deterrent, or for some people to think, hey, we should pay attention to this, I'm all on board because it was just a hashtag. Let's keep it at least in context. But I mean, I was thinking that it would, they would actually do some damage, maybe to some of our interests and maybe even personnel, or Iraqi personnel as well, which we heard some few reports of some casualties with Iraqis, which I thought was bad enough. And I honestly was predicting that Trump would then go to a it wasn't that bad de-escalation point of view, because I don't think
you didn't think so.
I thought so the whole time. But it's hard to say, you don't know what mindset he was in. So when Mark Esper and Mike Pompeo come in, I think Esper was the one who was carrying like a large bag they kept showing. His national security advisors come in and try to tell him what to do, or maybe advise him on what to do next. They're potentially gonna write up something from do last night. And the whole time I was thinking this is gonna be a lowering tensions type of statement. But then with we're the strongest, which is basically what this morning's conversation was. There was something that changed though, because they all just left in the middle of the night, and I think we saw it, and we'll talk about it when it comes to what he actually said this morning. But I guess to answer your question in a long way, I felt we were a little bit too heightened. It definitely could have gotten as bad as it was looking, but I didn't think it would get there. And I had no real concrete reason why to believe that, honestly.
I would argue we're not done just yet, but I would say, look, to the extent that, look, we were obviously, I was very worried about this going, in a much worse direction, and I'm not sorry for that at all. The internet freaked out about Sonic's teeth for like a week. I think we can freak out about the possibility of war between two major military powers.
And I think it helps to freak out about it, even if it's unnecessary to so much.
And especially because it's Trump. I mean, after all, so he said, if they strike us, we are going to take out 52 sites, including sites of cultural importance or whatever. And I said, that is a stupid threat to make, even if it wasn't promising war crimes, because one of two things is either gonna happen. Either you've put yourself in a position where you now need to do it, or you need to back off of that threat. And with Trump, he's so worried about what people think about him that I was afraid that he wouldn't be able to just back off that threat. So they struck us. Thankfully, he didn't stick to what he had been threatening, promising to do, but he could have. And again, it was a situation we were in that did not need to happen. There was, this whole news cycle could have been gone and nobody would have missed it. If he had never struck Soleimani, there would have been no increased tensions. Last night wouldn't have happened at all. It's not like we were forced into this situation except by Donald Trump's actions.
That's true.
Thank you for watching this clip from the Damage Report. For more content from the show and access to TYT Network members only exclusives, go to tyt.com/Brooke. Wait, no, it's tyt.com/John. Go to tyt.com/John to sign up.